Alan, we know a bit about the IEMT practitioner program now. You also do an advanced IEMT practitioner course.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about that? So what is the advanced course?
So the advanced course is building on the skills that have been given at the practitioner level. It's good for two reasons. Well, it's confidence and competence. So a lot of people that learn at the practitioner level have gone on and used it and found their own way and their own groove with it. If they're seeing clients frequently, they tend to get on and use it. If somebody's less frequently in front of people, they might not have built enough confidence to use it regularly, and it's really good for getting that skills build where people can revisit the basics. So
Yeah.
on the advanced course, we revisit the basics. We get any questions that people have got from using it with a human. Humans in the real world don't always follow the script. So how do we deal with this when this happens? What have you used it for this? So we'll start by building in a revision of the old skills. We'll revisit some of the techniques and some of the ideas behind it, but we're looking more at how it works because the 2 days on the practitioner is more about getting comfortable with the practice. We're doing it, lots of practice. Advanced again, we do lots of practice, but we're kind of looking at it from how do we think this is working? Some of the ideas around the psychological approach that we're using. It gives us more ways in to use it. So the two patterns that we focus on, we don't really revisit the trauma on the advanced. We revisit the kinesthetic pattern, the feelings pattern, and the identity patterns, and we look further into ways of using that. So we look at deeper kind of structures around the feeling. So which feeling, with every incident we've had, we've got different feelings around. So not just one feeling. It could be how I feel today about that thing that happened, or how did I feel then when it was happening, or etc. etc. So we've got more ways of working with kinesthetic patterns. We do look at phobia. We look at, excuse me, things like how do I use it in different situations from different perspectives. So what is my feeling? What were other people's feelings? We can use it for physical pain, so physical
All right.
feelings as well. And we just look at a few different ways to possibly use the kinesthetic pattern. And then we look again at identity. We revisit something called the identity pronoun scapes, so the I, me, self, and you. And we also look at what those parts of us want. So what's the identity wanting? So we take them as a part in NLP of like a parts exercise of different parts of me. And then we bring in some ideas from a man called Lucas Dirks, who looks at identity panoramas. So we'll do exercises to look at how other people's identity affect me. So my parents or this person at work or this kind of character, how anybody else's identity lives in my system
Yeah.
so that I can use IEMT within my system. So not just identities I hold for myself, but impactful identities that are around me or in my history to clear out some of that stuff. And so it's very much revision and recap and just making sure everybody's comfortable with the skills and then more ways to get to the point where we do IEMT. And that's the question when people have gone away and used it, that's the question that comes back mostly is how do I know when to use it or what do I know, how do I know what to use it on? And that can really help. Now the person's got the skills, they've had time to think about the what if and the what next.
Yeah.
They come back with the how do I use it with this or we talk a little bit about a session. How do you set a session up? How do you again people sometimes say how do you transition into this because the eye movement skill is if you're used to just sitting quietly and talking with someone and listening, it seems very, very different where you've got to stand up and move people's eyes about. So some help with that transition, some help with feeling comfortable and safe doing that and keeping the client safe as well.
Yeah. So some recap on the stuff they learned on the practitioner course, some refining the skills,
Yes,
and some really interesting new content
new
around
content.
applications, stuff about physical pain, stuff about identity level, the pronoun stuff, and the
Phobias.
social panorama type stuff.
And there is something else that I've just forgotten there, which is the physical kinesthetic embodiment of a that we would use a physical movement of the body. So it's psychological state accessing cues. So the physiology we hold with a feeling and
All right.
changing the physiology as a way of using the same process as well.
Yeah, cool. Dead good. And again, it's a 2 day program.
2 days, yeah.
And you normally run it, what, once a year, twice a year, something like that?
Usually run that one. I usually run it once a year in the northeast, and we tend to do one in the Northwest if we can. So it's not as frequent as the practitioner because not everybody goes on to do the two. But I think it does help the person who's using it frequently. If it's for personal development, maybe not. But if you're using it with others, I think it's useful to do the advanced course, just to embed the skills and to go. People do go away much more confident and much more able to have to work with anything that comes to them. Because I think any client that comes to you, you can use IEMT with if you know where to go, where to tap, if you like.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, some of the things for me, people who haven't done IEMT, they probably don't know just how astonishing the results can sometimes be.
That's it.
And then once you start using it, I mean, I'm still blown away, utterly
Yeah,
blown away by the results in very often in a single session.
absolutely.
That stuff just goes for people, and what a great thing to have up your sleeve if you work with folk.
Literally up your sleeve.
Literally up your what is it? Creating change in the blink of an eye, Alan.
Absolutely. And
Fabulous.
it's anything for me, anything it comes out of NLP, of course. So anything that works with as little content as needed,
Yeah,
and works very quickly at the unconscious level has got to be something amazing for clients.
yeah, yeah. And it really can be amazing, can't it? That's the thing. So,
Absolutely.
and I'm sure we could talk endlessly about some of the results people have had. Is there anything else you'd want people to know about the advanced course, Alan? So, any last thoughts before we wrap up?
I think for anyone that's using IEMT already, it'll boost your confidence and give you more ideas.
Yeah,
For anyone who isn't really, because this often happens, people do the 2-day practitioner, and because they don't go out and use it immediately, or they don't see a lot of people, they kind of feel less able to start. So once you've left it for a little while, if you haven't started doing it, you might be more reluctant. This
yeah,
has helped a lot of people who want to use it feel comfortable and able to go on and use it. So
yeah.
for people who are using it, it's embedding and enhancing what you do. For those of you who know it but haven't really used it, it'll should give you the confidence to go out and do it.
That's fantastic, Alan. Thank you ever so much for your time.
You're welcome.
I'll